All right, and here we are back with Rogue Trader. So we'll go ahead and we're going to pick up where we left off on Saturday stream game. So we will be on the here, right? Yeah. So we just got done talking to some people about stuff, and they're like, "Hey, you did stuff and you saved people," and I was like, "Yeah, I did. That's pretty cool, right?" And so they're like, "Hell yeah, brother." And I was like, "Yeah, brother." They're like, "Brother." And then we were brothering for like 25 minutes. And they just kept talking. And I just really didn't know what to do with myself because I just couldn't stop 'em. So here we go. We have the widest looking of Toms. So we can actually look at him. So we've got a well-maintained stubber, a sword. Um, and we got some people. They got some stuff, and they're all like, "Yeah, we got like stuff," and I'm like, "Cool." Let's look here. We can actually let's go to upgrade this stuff because I got scrap. I started a single-player game on my own to kind of get myself on like a little bit more familiar with the game, and so this is the point where we sit there. We have to like we have to fucking talk to these people and just like,
Lord Captain.
"Hey, how's it going? Let's talk about some stuff that might be useful to me as a rogue trader."
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Alright, talk for me.
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble.
Fucking rabble.
The only major port, the Imperium's frigates, find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels.
It's crazy.
The Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called.
Yeah, Lord Captain Thomas.
The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor.
He has a wide expanse in the Cronus Expanse, you know.
More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard
wide expanse, Tom.
Of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might.
Yeah, Thomas the Expansive. There we go. Good job, Fistbearer.
By the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier. In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness.
You don't say.
Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory. And they enjoy
Why Tom needs a golden throne
in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them.
And he does. His throne is golden.
And Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them.
And he not only has a bidet, but he also has a personal butt wiper.
If we are to
That's when you know you've really made it.
Territory, which is what Footfall is. Among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first,
10,000 burritos.
Organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to
10,000 burritos a day to keep wide Tom the Expansive ever sated.
Our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda.
Chorda.
And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars
heresies.
of the Coronis Expanse. You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes.
Ah,
Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his
Voigtveer.
treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight.
I know.
We both served
Stole my
Lord Captain
chicken
Theodora
wings,
for
too.
many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the von Velatius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake.
Yeah. Freaking
If
low
you are
ballistic
taking
skills.
comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed.
No.
You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery.
I don't want to disappoint people.
He is sure to attempt
Except
to
your
strike
mom.
and he will use his contacts
Disappointed
and
her
knowledge
2
of the
times last
Protectorate
night.
to do so. The only
Abelard.
question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
He will come to me, for I am expansive.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
Ah.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Do you have, tell me by yourself.
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No. Used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling.
You're very right, Zigron von
I was
Bromeister.
bound to serve Lord Captain Theodora.
He's
In my heart and mind,
a melee man.
I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy.
That's what she said.
Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue traders'
In the
personal
gravy, boo 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 boo.
It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was.
I kinda
do.
do.
And formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the expanse.
Leaving the Imperial Navy is far from easy. Why were you permitted to quit your post?
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora.
You don't say.
Well, the Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue.
Oh, good lord, you
The
talk a
Navis
lot.
Imperialis is an ancient institution with its
But I'm
own
getting
mandates
XP.
and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in
see.
command were inclined to view my manner
Indubitably.
of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
Let me tell you, Abelard, that you and all my other teammates are just little nibblers who I can suck the XP from, and it is the only reason I deign to speak with you. Just so you know.
What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless.
And do you have family?
I am a widower. I am a father of 4. And
Oh.
if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11. My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for
Big
serving
Dongus? I've never heard of Big
and I would hardly
Dongus.
have insisted that they follow in my footsteps.
Oh, tell me of your planet, Big Dongus.
Of course.
You can call me by your first name if you wish.
I thank you for the honor, but I must decline.
Oh.
As a former military officer, I believe in the importance of order in all things. including the chain of command.
His friend,
You are the
biggest
Lord Captain,
dickest.
my direct superior. I am not prepared to address you in any way other than as regulation dictates.
Well, I see. Then I must take my leave,
Lord Captain.
Seneschal. Indubitably. Hi, Factorium, Generous Dunrock. Greetings, your Lord Generous Dunrock, at your service. What do you do on my ship? Hi, Factorium. My duties encompass anything that might enrich you to the Protectorate. I see that your suppliers have delivered shipments on longer time. That our partners do not weasel out of their promises, and that all servants remember that the Emperor's grace can only be earned through the toil of the good of the von Valancus dynasty. I also make arrangements to ensure that our hold receives less than thorough inspections by the poor customers office, and I find buyers for whatever you wish to sell. Oh, how did you come to serve the von Valancus dynasty? I came from Dongus, your lordship. I have been a subject of your dynasty since Dongus, and I have always strived to be the big Dongus of the rogue trader. Alas, Abelard is from a big Dongus family of many Donguses. So I'm only 15th in line of my Dongus. So I deceive not to stand in the way of those behind me in any case they attempt to shorten the waiting line of my expense of the Dongus family. I see. Well, my brothers and sisters schemed against one another. I studied the exact science and mastered bookkeeping, the greatest art of the adeptus administratum. I must admit that the accumulation of wealth, something one can control, is far more exciting than hunting, carousing, and other traditional amusements by my noble peers. What was it like lurking for Theodora? Oh, now that is a tricky question, your lordship. Do you ask it of everyone, knowing that they risk losing their head should they let slip a careless remark of your predecessor? I shall put it thus. Working the Lady Theodorus was never boring and always profitable. The Empyrean has billions of subjects, but very few do what they love and what they are best suited for. I would say Lady Theodora is one of those fortunate ones. She was a model rogue trader, and she surrounded herself with those who excelled at and loved their work. Hers was a rare talent indeed. I wish to know what you think of our fellow crew members. Keeping tabs on your subordinates, a wise move. Tell me who you're interested in. I'll endeavor to be as honest as possible. Do you think of Seneschal Abelard Wyerson? Oh god, he just keeps talking. A logical whiz is more valuable than the best soldiers keeping supplies. That's true, Bully Snake. Bully true. Wars are won by logistics. Good old-fashioned logistics. Anyway, I do not know what methods used, but the results were impressive. Having said that, their big old dongus from Lord Captain Seneschal is capable of being a donger greater than the mere conduit for your will. He possessed the cunning and experience to run the Protector passably when Lady Theodora is away, and that really is saying something. Keep an eye on the old officer, I say, or alternative, turn him into a faithful ally. Alright, I'd like to hear your opinion of Conrad Wotger, the former master of Whispers. Oh, I hope to never see him fed on board this vessel again, even as a servitor, although he would be able to do at least some good that way. Someone has to clean the latrines after all. He gave us quite a fright on that ill-fitted day, Lord Captain, and still, to speak candidly, I never enjoyed Master Voltger's company, but believe him to be a man who knew how to do his job. Regretfully, I was mistaken. It turned out Conrad lacked the most important quality in a Master of Whispers, unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader, and his failing came to light in the most deplorable of manner. Yes, true, with his pants down. What do you have to say about Vox Master Victus Tolliman? Yes, the Voidborn. You know, in my family, we used just such creatures as quarry whenever we were hunting. Mutants are the bane of humanity, an unseen tumor that threatens to end us all. But I digress. In the brief time Tolliman has spent in the Vox as the Vox Master, I have noticed any significant flaws in her character or anything that would make me question her professional qualities. Needless to say, she is very diligent, as any Voidborn seeking to earn their master's affection. I believe you can trust her loyalty and skills. I wish to discuss something else. I want to know more about the people who buy our plunder. Of course, Lord Captain. Who interests you exactly? We most often seal the deal with Saint Dressus, the Explorators, the Casabala mission, or Emperor Forgive Us, the Fellowship of the Void. One of the fellows does Saint Druscus acquire from us? The Druskins are still hope to bring the Crow's example into the warm embrace of the faith, just as our flock hopes to receive the aid of the Drussian missionaries. Each crate of food, shipment of cloth, or box of medicine marks you with the seal or sign of a rogue trader himself believed in the sect's future success. Reverend Hieronymus is the first among the Drusians and is often seen as the Footfall's Grand Atrium. A gloomy fellow, but some almost always believe him to be a saint. Tell me about the Explorators. Members of the Explorator Cognizant Fleet, which has been roaming the Cronus Expanse for a good while now, Omnissiah knows what they're hoping to find, but their acolytes regularly show up to inhabit worlds, seeking a bit of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics and sniffing out Xeno artifacts. If truth be told, supposedly they want to save the ignorant rattle from corruption. A text priest named Opticon22 does business with us on the fleet's behalf, but he can be found at the docks of Footfall. I'm interested in the Casablanca mission. Masters of the cold tray and mortal criminals and nocturous crooks to the last man. The mission is but a branch of the Mafia gang that has taken root at the Calaxis sector. You can do business with them as long as you take the necessary precautions. They are led by Vladimir Tokora, who recently appointed himself Liege of Footfall. Of course, he is trusted ally of a rogue trader, Winterscale. But he will not refuse you, another of the Emperor's anointed. If you wish to talk to Vladimir, look for him in the Liege Palace at Footfall. What is this Fellowship of the Void? A pompous name, is it not? In truth, they are a gang of pirates who are forever squabbling over loot and territory. However, some of their little flotillas need supplies, or we can take awkward cargoes off our hand without asking questions. Of course, there is always a risk that these scoundrels will change their mind and attempt to board us instead. But so far, our macro cannons have managed to keep them in live. They say Rizza's Calvaria speaks of the Fellowship's behalf. The Adeptus Amascus, Amasis, on the Footfall is rumored to be her favorite haunt. Why are we giving our spoils to these people in the first place? To profit from them, of course. Most of these things you will find during the expedition are complete junk to one such as yourself, but the less fortunate and affluent servants of the Emperor think them treasures, especially when they are bestowed by the great rogue trader himself. Drusians, fanatics, and pirate cutthroats, Casablanca dealers and explorators. None of refuse our help in these dark and trying times, and there may yet come a time when we shall be the ones to requiring aid, and it would be beneficial to have allies willing to provide it. I suggest we change the subject. I wish to bolster my retinue with skilled fighters. My retinue and I are in need of training. Okay, so bolster, I can make a person, or I can retrain someone. So I'll do that later. Enough. I will go on to what? Let me look at my fucking skills. What do I have here? Ballistic. All right, so I'm kind of weapon skill. Summoning feature archetype. I kind of want to respec a little bit. Retraining me. Accept. Accept, yes. Alright, so now that I have a better idea of how to play, I kind of want to go through and I definitely want persuasion. Although Carmen's nice. Persuasion. Finest hour's good. Gosh. I mean, having a sword is nice, but I kind of wish... What do I got? You kill it. If servant kills target, you are next. You go on. You protect me. You do something. Stronger together. 8 strong together. Ready to serve. Alright. What am I good at? So I'm good at all sorts of stuff, which is actually really nice. I kind of want to get my ballistic skill rating up a little bit. Fellowship. What am I got? Fellowship, willpower. I don't really need weapon skill. Let's up the ballistic skill. I need that up a little bit higher. Let's see. I'm not sure what weapon would really be good for him. The character can attack with a second weapon on the current set in addition to one attack per round. This on. I'm not too worried about that. I'm really set up for. Interesting. You go on. If the servant kills a target, you're next. If the servant has less than 30% max, you protect me. If the noble and the servant are adjacent to each other, the start of the noble's turn, they both gain temporary. Okay. Interesting. Doing my part. I mean, I'm kind of tech isn't bad, demolition, commerce, lore, imperium. I don't want heavy weapons because I won't be able to really use them very well. Power weapon expert, I mean... Solid weapon expert wouldn't be bad. Actually, nimble wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. That's a bit better. Weapon, ballistic skill, okay. I can live with that for now. Who else need to talk to? Boxmaster. Let's talk to Idra. See if we can get some XP from her. Idra, about your abilities.
What are you talking about, Lord Captain?
You're a psyker. Psykers are only granted the right to live with the Emperor's blessing. Have you ever been to Tewa?
Look, Lady Theodora couldn't care less if some eggheads measured my brains or not. It's not about the seal on your forehead, get it? It's about what's in your gut, if it's rotten or not. My gut's stronger than the adamantine on this here ship. And my implants are better than the ones they put in you on your Terra. If they weren't, I wouldn't have lived as long as I have.
Where do you come from?
Lyra, an outlying world in the Heathen Stars region. In the Coronis Expanse, the deeper you go, the less visible the Astronomicon gets, and the less people know about the Imperium. The arrival of a rogue trader is the best thing that can happen to a world like that. The very best.
Tell me about Lyra.
It's an out-of-the-way planetoid between two faint stars. On Lyra, a dozen local tyrants fight over 5 measly continents. But they use everything they can to win, from poison to psychers. I haven't been there in many years, but there's nothing for me to miss. Trust me. But here on the ship is a different story altogether. I saw more wonders in my first year serving Lady von Valancius than I'd seen in my whole life on Lyra. Like my first journey through the warp, I was in bed for 3 days. I felt like supernovas were exploding in my head.
No way.
I only found out later that I'd gotten off easy. Just through the bulkhead in the bay next to mine, a whole team turned into... Look at me rambling on, Lord Captain. Pay no attention.
You never finished your story about your first time crossing the warp.
It wasn't like it was a very fun trip, Lord Captain. But look, if you want to be entertained, I'm the woman for the job. I'll entertain you with one of the stories from my collection, no problem. But if you want to hear about the time I melted everyone in the bay next door, well, I just don't really want to go into the details on that one, alright?
Oh. Okay, well, what did you do before you came on the ship?
Oh, I embroidered wall hangings in honor of our national heroes.
Like Cyphus Kane?
I did the same thing I do here, Lord Captain.
He's the hero of the Imperium.
Our rulers prized the ability to see into the future. Every psyker that could be found was worth a small fortune on Lyra.
Continue.
There's no such thing as a peaceful life on Lyra. People like me were especially sought after. They'd pick psychers up wherever they found them, buy kids off their parents, even just abduct them. Take me, for instance. I got taken from my street gang. The older kids sold me when they noticed there was something off about me. The ruling dynasties had schools where they trained us and beat us black and blue. And then they packed us off to serve. Some of us held on for a long time, but others didn't last. Not everyone's as smart and talented as me, you know. Some people crossed the line and were out of commission before their time.
Well, what? Lines aren't meant to be crossed, except when I cross them. So how did you end up with Rogue Trader's service?
Theodora von Valancius paid a visit to the ruler I was serving at the time. I don't know what the visit was for, and it's no business of mine anyway. I can still remember the way the voices in my head changed when I looked at her. They were practically screaming. She had so much behind her, and plenty ahead of her too.
I bet they sounded a lot like ah!
As I gawped at her, all of a sudden I heard a whisper. A hint, a suggestion, nothing more. But I know the difference between idle chatter and a real threat. I seized my chance and approached Theodora. I managed to whisper a couple of words in her ear before the wardens dragged me away.
You don't say.
They beat me and locked me up. No wonder. It wasn't my place to converse with outsiders.
Yes.
And then Theodora's people came for me. They broke down the wall, butchered the guards. Also, I could tell them my warning in full.
Oh.
So I said the rest, but I didn't want to go back to my old life.
I wouldn't either.
And so I entered the service of the von Valancius dynasty.
Well, have you ever been off the ship?
A few times. Not many. And if I think about it, why would I want to?
I don't know.
I've got everything I need here. All the whispers I hear are familiar ones. They almost feel like family. And if I want to hear about the nightmares off the ship, I can. After some Amisek. But don't go getting the wrong idea. If I have to, I'll follow you to the edge of the galaxy.
Oh, edging. I see. Yes, I'm familiar.
Of course, Lord Captain.
What's it like being a psyker?
Lord Captain, forgive me. But it would be like talking to a person born blind about colors. I could spend hours explaining, but it wouldn't make any sense to you.
Oh.
Every psyker feels their connection with the warp in their own way. One person might see spots and shadows out of the corner of their eye. Another feels fingers running down their spine.
Ah, fingies.
As for me, I've got a door in my head. One that's open just a crack. There's no way to close it, no matter how hard I try. I've just had to get used to the whispers from the other side. When I need to use it for work, I listen in more closely. But I usually just try not to notice it.
How do you live with whispering in your head?
Training, habit, and a little amasec and a couple other things you can get on the lower decks. If you put all those together, it makes things bearable.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I even wonder if I'm imagining half the voices I hear.
I like bears.
You know, when life on board gets a little boring. Better than listening to the living, anyhow.
What would happen if your door burst open?
Well, if the door opens, that means somebody's planning to come in, right? But screw them. They're not coming through. Trust me. I know how to keep my valuable head locked up tight.
Oh, yes. You got those thingies strapped into your brain for a reason. Aren't you afraid of losing control?
Only losers who are afraid of their own gift lose control. Or idiots who never figure out what they are before
Welcome
it's
back,
too
Lord
late.
Grimos.
Or little kids who want to play around with their shiny new toy. If you don't know the limits of your abilities, or you're always bouncing around in your own head, that's a recipe for disaster.
Can you see my future? Do I become ever expansive and wider?
All right. That's what I'm here for, after all.
Yes.
So, I'm just going to lean on that door in my head a little more, prick up my ears, and listen to what the warp's got to say about you. If you'll allow it, I can listen right now.
Alright, but let me press my bare buttocks against the door, and then I shall fart, and you will hear the reverberations, and then I want your interpretation. Is it art or not?
All right. Let's hear what they're whispering about you.
Okay.
Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void. There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood. And with each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't paint the ship again.
Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage seeks the answer to a question. He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, rogue trader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion.
Oh, so like the answer to the question, but not the question to the answer. I understand. I get it. 42.
The chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks in the scent of oil confound his nose. The chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his master? Or merely another beast in the path of his true lord?
Woof woof.
The glow of dawn bursts forth from its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand. One that holds death in twisted glass. Cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it?
Good question. What is one more life?
I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in, somehow. But for now...
Things are strained between you and Argenta, isn't that right?
The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices. Ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
Oh, did you know Theodore von Valencia so well?
None of the officers knew the Lord Captain well.
Oh,
Not
boring.
even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else.
Yeah, she falls
She told
like
me
a
from the
puppy.
off that if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. I'm not an idiot, so I never stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Only when I was asked.
Yes, indeed.
It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice.
That's just the recording I keep playing to make people on edge.
All right, let's hear what they're... I'm sorry, Lord Captain.
I'm gonna fuck right off, okay? Have a good day. Alright, what trouble else can I get into? Alright, I'm over here, I think. Here. Here, down here. 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 There, not there. There, helmsman. Helmsman. Look up, man, require your service. Remind me, who are you? I'm Helm's little cabin. I'm in a vessel. Bar commands the instant relations when the lamest turn. I'm the one who stopped me from running over vessel with an disruptive gravitational wave when we're traveling through the void. Do you control the ship in real space? I wish that was my only job. I have to stand through the warp too. Most of the content goes as a navigator. The world's nightmare doesn't miss them new. All my years at hell, they count for nothing about them. Listen, my small part is enough. I just mentor our systems, follow charts, routes, and don't pick up a fast one in order to come through the navigator's sanctum. Real space eyes where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitation anomalies, void currents, radiation. That kind of shit shows up everywhere. Thanks to the Emperor and the Augur, the vessel holding up and so far we've been able to spot something bad coming our way. Who are these idiots are you in charge of? There are too many of the list. All of them. Time race from the Imperial, the boys and the Augur decks. They work shy fools of the bridge and are just flogged. They all need to wake up and call, and they need to be whispered into shape or else you should be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll encounter someone we have heart too. Alright, that's enough for now. You are a void-born, are you not? That's alright. I'm born of the bow of the children's vessel. Studied the family trade until I was 15, and then claimed was portrait of the mutiny of the Lorehold scum. They spared the young'un, but they didn't plan to regret now to separatism. I was having none of it. They were going to make a servant out of me, so I escaped into the crawlways, and I spent months picking them up. They were one after the other. You got me talking about a tormenting minute. Voidborn. Go ahead, finish your story, Raybor. How much detailing gutted everyone could get to, and then I fled upwards in the middle decks. That's when the Augur robbers took me under their wing, and they have to Prince Helmsman under the sea. Nobody asked me any questions, so I stayed, and I grew up trained, got smarter. Then I had to help done years later. Drag spotted me and lured me away to the cheeky blighter. I see, so you're not a gregarious sort? I'm just a little captain. Did I mishear you, or are you giving the rogue trader cheek? Answer me, void rat! Beg your pardon, Lord Captain, I do apologize, but the blame for my ugly mug and foul temper can only be laid at my door only. Connecting wires, once I got to the top of the ship, except the bloody cogs messed up the wires. Stimulus injectors connected them when they implanted them, they twisted the wires the wrong way and burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulation, splitting headaches, so you'd forgive me, I'm not all smiles, Lord Captain. Tell me about the Voidborn. Lord Captain, I mean no disrespect, but you better find something of an act of a conversation, like Tolman, the new Vox Master. I ain't a talking type, I just keep the trip going, needs to go. Best let folks stick to the way they do best, hey what? What can you tell me about other officers? Good for nothing wasters, oh, that's what they all are. Each and every one of them. Take Janice Dunrock, the highborn weasel. He funds with the officers, but they get them burned alive. He drags other people into the new schemes he's going to take this fall for them in, too. One of the junior helmets was very good to the football for him, and get up with the seneschal and ended up in the void hatch. Dunrock couldn't care less. The Vox Matter told me to like the void rest. It's no better. She got off half the voice channel on the day she took up her post. Said the voice system no contact with the other modules, but how am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect a cog reports with the power over my mind? First off, his rare friend. I can't stand him. I like every Navy officer I've ever met. He doesn't do the thing to join the vessel and avoid. But he puffs himself up all the same and throws the weight around me and him to have it to let me alone. Thanks to the Emperor, Lady Thedora, trust me, and then the shunfall when it came to helming a void ship. And then there's that woman. How's her name? Celeste. Lady Thedora was brought along with wherever she went. Look what happened to her. I wouldn't have been surprised it turned out to be the witch that delivered us an early grave. Just like that was sold before. I don't think anyone could have watched the walking calamity of the ship. And then with some to disagree, but the friends were telling me that, early as we used to be. Tell me, do you like anyone at all? What kind of question is that? I like you, and lead through before you, but we're not making cracks about rogue traders. I just don't want to die yet. Well, I must take my leave, Lord Captain. All right, Argenta, do you have some expility for me?
Traitor.
You said you have a personal request for me.
I indeed have a request, Rogue Trader.
The accursed servant of chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they offered many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this, Von Valensis territory, but in the world where I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans? What good would a meeting do? Make arrangements for the meeting worthy of a rogue trader. I will address the orphans with a speech. Yes, we will give them a speech. As you wish, rogue trader. Thank you for granting my request. Yes. Oh shit, I have to go down there and I have to talk to these peasants. Oh. Yes, Owlcat did a great job on this game so far. Yes, clap for me. Look how wide I am. A group of adolescents, clearly dressed in their finest, freshly pressed clothes, forms a straight line before you. Some stare at you with wide eyes and like you're some mythical creature, while others huddle together in fear and look away. Our indefinite sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. It's hardly the Scola progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans of our ship with adequate care and instruction. Brave one, the master of the ship has appeared before you, and the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valenskis. Gladly address the group. I, the rogue trader and Lord Captain of this ship, speak to you now. Your parents give their lives for just a cause and brought honor on the Von Blesses banners, and those of the Imperium are proud of them, and I believe that you will become their worthy heirs. Yeah, that's good. They hang on every breath. By the end of the row, sullen, no pre-compressed by what? So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died. There are dozens of you, noble lot, and you just give us speeches. Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flashes in her dark eyes, like she wants to both calm him and scold him for his impudence. Address the chaperones. Their components leave much to be desired. I hope that they would be molded into worthy servants of the House of Valencia. Address the chaperones. Punish the troublemaker and put the rest back in their bays. The audience is over. Address the group. If you have things to say them without fear. I will listen. Ignore the interruption. Rest assured, you won't be abandoned. You will be taken care of. Go ahead. Say something. I won't punish you. It doesn't matter what we say. It won't bring our parents back, and it won't change our fates either. We'll keep slaving away on the ship until we drop, and die like our folks or worse. I understand your grief and dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through, but they gave their lives for the truth, and for the good of the whole ship, for the Imperium. Do not speak of their honorable fate with anger and disdain. When the heretics who killed your parents attacked the ship, I was there. I took command. I fought and I repelled the assault as quickly as I could. But no war can be won without losses. You can only strive to do so. The strong have power to decide the fate of others. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Do not speak of their honorable fate with anger and disdain. You heard the rogue trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly, then he catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Abelard gives a sign, that servants immediately emerge carrying packaged treats with Von Valentius emblazoned on the wrappers. It appears the Seneschal came prepared for any contingency. Feed them Turkish delights. They're just fucking throwing it. Just here, yay! Excellent. I'm glad I've given you such a rousing speech. You happy? Everyone happy now? Flog the lot. Guts Aplenty has subscribed for 16 months. Woo! 16 months, man. It's glad to have been having you here for this whole time. All right. Well, let's talk back to Argenta. Oh God. Argenta. Do you have more Okay. Tell me about the Adeptus Sororitas.
There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters.
Oh, God.
We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, Rogue Trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium
Yes.
knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
They say that the Adeptus Sororitas are the finest in the faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is it true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity.
I like nuns with guns.
We protect the faithful from the unholy and
Fezbear
unhallowed.
had me down with that.
Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
I do like bolters.
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me.
Fezbear, you had a Sister of Battle army at one point. Nice. I had a Khorne army.
Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her. For nothing can stop a Sister of Battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness.
Repentia? That sounds like Incontinentia.
Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
Libations for all. What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters
Vittel,
Pronatus
yes, Vittel.
protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them.
Yes, Incontinent was married to two biggest dickets. They're still married today.
Pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost.
There you go. XP, that's what I wanted.
Neither a coven of heretics, nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
The Shadow? I don't remember. What Shadow?
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant train sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless.
Oh,
Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller
speech?
and
What
the
speech?
enlightened Sisters Dialogues
I'm forgetting everything
know
I'm
how
talking
to
about.
greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge.
Longus Dongus? Yes, I know Longus Dongus.
And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics.
Relics.
What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it?
Am I listening to things? I don't know. You said you belonged to the Collective Bread of the Order. What brought you to the Chronothics, man?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of past Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
Repentia thine buttocks? Are there any members of the Adeptus Sororitas in the Chronothics expanse?
None that I'm aware of.
Oh,
But the
that's sad.
sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the
I like
Ecclesiarchy.
presents. Presents is wonderful.
Perhaps
Gifts
somewhere
for
in
me?
the Lord Inquisitor's retinue,
I
where
do
he's
like a
passed the
handy
burst,
later,
my
yes, thank you,
sisters
Night
perform
Owl.
their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
I do spend my evenings smoking joints in prayer to the Emperor.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Oh, tell me about yourself then.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
I don't know, how did you end up on the ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey. but
The
rather
second
what
journey.
brought me aboard prior to the pirate attack.
Oh?
That story is complicated.
Okay.
I made a mistake.
Oh, shit.
In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy.
Laxatives
I
will
was
do that.
badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, while her crew attended to me in my weakened
I have
state.
my servants to remember
It all
things.
happened not too long ago. I barely recovered from my wounds when the pirates struck.
Yeah, that happens to me when I
Truly,
have
the
too many
servants of evil
laxatives.
know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
Oh, machinations? Are they like macaroons?
Sadly, they did not.
Oh.
Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet.
Oh.
Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious. And when I came to my senses, we were already flying away.
Oh, bugger.
How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more. And it's bound to happen someday.
Oh, I'm sure. You mentioned making a mistake.
It happens even to the best of us.
Not from me,
My
God's sake.
mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
I atone for steak all the time.
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse, no one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
The Night Owl, the Lord of the Expansive Rogue Trader, knows that the nunnery is only worshipped and in love with the Emperor himself. So, what could go on this planet deal with chaos?
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the
Wingless
previous
Raven,
navigator.
thank you for 19 months for that
It would take
subscription.
immense effort and
Man,
resources
it's
to
getting close to
rediscover
2
the
years for a
route.
lot of people.
The heir to the Von
I'm
Valances
proud of everyone who's
protectorate
made it
must
this
have
far.
Plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
Okay, what was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the medbay.
My feet fall all the
I
time.
can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself.
The Medicaid said that my arches have caved in like a load-bearing structure failing, probably due to my massive expansionness.
During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health.
Oh, really?
He's an honorable man and a loyal
oh,
servant of the Imperium.
honorable.
I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistics systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship.
That sounds like sexual innuendo.
But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the pirates. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
The lady with shit coming out of her head.
As you wish.
Oh, what's keeping you in my retinue?
This ship was targeted by heretical pirates, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary. But for now, I wish to remain a part of the Rogue Trader's crew.
Okay, so this pleases me, that you are servant to the Golden Throne and my crew. May the enemies of the Imperium tremble before our onslaught.
So they shall.
Thank you for this conversation. Until next time. Alright. Good job, good job. Good job, everybody. Let's go to our cabin quarters. I think there's stuff there we need to plute. There are only 6 possibilities, and most of on depends gender, so give playthrough usually has 3 or so possibilities. Oh, interesting, interesting. Ooh, there we go. I saw some lootable shit in here. Alright. Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, there we go, in the vault. It's in the vault. Ooh, I could put stuff in there. I don't want to yet. Nope. Oh, there you go. Goods. Goods and services. Oh, you don't say. Well, I might as well put that there. Yeah, and... No, honestly, give him this. That's a much better weapon for him. Blessed Wave. An axe. Let's give her that shotgun. Because why not? I think she'd be better on with an S word. Alright. There you go. Let's loot that. Oh shit. It's in another room. Collect it. Alright, info. Blah blah. The final transaction with the chariots are complete. The fire reckoning is now off equipable. The objects float aboard the containment interact with the place for the maximum target. Coordinates set and received by the system. The fire reckoning is crewed by a servitor. Blah blah blah. Chances of the ship returning are minimal. Estimated time. Blah 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 blah. Okay. That doesn't do anything for me now, does it? Let's loot these goods. There we go. Unfinished letter. His chagrin is irrelevant. Voltvir's mistake cost me too much years of work, tremendous research, all wasted. He has failed at what he is supposed to be irreproachable at, uncovering spies. And this is one that was senior officer. I'm not about to discard him. Conrad has served me for far too long. His removal to go painlessly for the Protectorate. Besides, he is no fool. He could not have seriously expected to become the next in the von Valensis line when his skills and talents as Master of the Whisper are so valuable. Let his disinheritance serve as a meditation but an instructive lesson for which he may yet learn. Alright, I'll loot that. Well. Good times. Let's check in here. Anything in here? Can I get in the water? Nope. Well, I'll come back here and I'll fart in the bubble bath. Okay, okay. Well, we've collected some loot. Oh, a gang of kings. What's this? What other stuff? Can I click on other stuff? Yeah. I don't want to read that stuff. That's a lot of words. I don't really like... Wait, if you're interested, hold tab. Oh, really? Huh. Oh. Okay. To the bridge. Greetings. Alright, now let's click on this Cronus map thing. Alt B. Okay. Look, a space wolf. Blah, 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 blah. I can figure it out. Where to? Well, let's go check out this place. Begin the scan. XP. Nice. Hmm. 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 Let's go over to this void ship. We'll come back, and then we'll go to this prison planet. What do we have here, Lord Captain? It's not very nice, but there's a void ship sitting in a local asteroid field. It sure is quiet, like it's huddled up in there on purpose. It's not like I'm surprised. The thing is more scrap heap than ship at this point. Somebody sure went to town on it. We are registering critical hits, damage to the hull, and depressurization on several compartments. Oh, there's infiltration now, too. Iris, do not require assistance. Pete, do not require assistance. Appy, Eep, Alling, specify they won't take to protect us. Program loggers determined that the level of the vessel reefs the uninvited damaged vessel, with a natural feeling that a original Raphilia colony that is using help, which not to put points on that has been offered to them. Can we establish communication? Yes, Lord Captain. On vessel, we are receiving you. I didn't said if you identify yourself. Do not tell him. What that for? This is Thunderfang. We are a merchant vessel. Do you copy? We are a private merchant vessel. A merchant vessel? Of course they are. Damn my stupid head. Where did I hear this name before? Thunderfang. Report. Damage report upon the vessel. Telemetry shown multiple breaches, most likely caused by guns from a combat ship. Several compartments are leaking air. The bridge is almost completely obliterated to the end is critically damaged. Someone gave them a thrashing so solid they barely managed to limp away. Thunderfang, we cannot identify you. Why? I don't know. Well, what if certainly not? Our vessel is badly damaged. It is pending correct identification. We assure you, urgent commercial vessel. Thunderfang does not require aid. Thunderfang, your vessel is badly damaged. What happened to you? Static. We're just flying, minding our own business, straight out of the blue and open fire. Miracles we got away. Emperor protected, and then more fire. Who? Void only knows. Roasted our tail, bombed everything. Our folks are left. Without our help, we never got to them. Thunderfang, stop playing games and explain what you forgot in this area, and time I highly recommend a tooth. Happy now? What have you done, idiot? It's too late now. Do you copy? We are from the Fellow of the Void. We do not come here to loot on different business, to help our own out of jail. Do not hurt, please. We already have our own Chronos cleared. How about striking a deal? Our hold's full of plunder, I mean goods. In case you're unaware, Lord Captain, the Fellowship of the Void is a disorderly assembly of several pirate factions of the Chronos Expanse. They explain themselves rather heretical, solely based. They have Vox conversation with those who are about to be boarded. Were it up to me, I'd make them eat a thou for the macro cannon and shake the scum loose the decks. They certainly deserve it. I would wait on destroying that vessel if I were you. Although the more aspects of the livelihood do cause some awkward questions, the Fellowship of the Void remains a major supplier of goods to the local market. Perhaps you will find dealing with them acceptable, especially when jumping to warp is impossible. A Thunderfang, prepare for commercial exchange. Nice. So we can show tradable. Hide trade. Oh, okay. Well, how about add cargo? Add cargo. Add those to cargo. Add that to cargo. Add that to cargo. I really don't need any of that. So, show tradable? There we go. Ha! And so, as far as I know, then I can now trade this stuff. And they'll just give it to me, basically. So there we go. And now we have a trading partner. Let's open up our inventory. We have a flamer. What does this do? The wearer's range attacks decrease the target's dodge by 5. Does not stack. Okay. So let's give it to Argenta. Oh, she can use a flamer, huh? Let's actually give her the flamer. Yes. Excellent. All right. Well, let us go to this prison planet then. Begin scan. Okay. Prison planet we go. Except we are off to see the prison planet, the wonderful prison planet of it all. We're off, we're off, we're off, we're off to see the prison planet. Huzzah! Oh. Look, the Aqualia. Okay. Goods and services. We'll collect that. Pilot Rakul. Affirmative, escort everything and calm on my end. Vicari out. Your lordship, 1,000 pardons if I address you improperly. Have you come on behalf of Governor Medina, or are you here on other business? If it's latter, you ought to know that there's been a riot at the local prison. It's quite dangerous. Abelard, teach this whiffwaff the proper way of addressing her sovereign. Abelard glares at the woman, his brow furrowing. Officer, the person before you is Zirg von Bromeisten, von Valenskis, a rogue trader. Although you are, from what I gather, a subject of another dynasty, you will do well to introduce yourself with proper decorum. At once, sir! Captain Raquel Vicari, servant of the House Winterscale, and the pilot of the shuttle. It is an honor to be greeting you, his lordship, von Valencius. Tell me about this planetoid. The only settlement on Ricadfilia is a penal colony. The prisoners work in the mines and the domed quarries. They mine sulfur, ceramidust, and sand, which is then melted down. A rather nondescript place, or so it was, prior to the current events. What happened here? There's been a prison riot on the planetoid. Sadly, it's been led to the prison ward himself, the Honorable Anderson Castilla. He's allied himself with the rabble, and he himself was supposed to watch the declared ready affiliate of the independent the authority of the system lawful venerator. I came here as a shuttle pilot along the Honorable Ixin Winterscale, son of Calais Winterscale, rogue trader, vanquisher of Xenos, forever triumph over the enemies of humanity. Young Lord Winterscale wished me to speak to the warden personally. The Honorable Lord means to put an end to this lawless treason. He and his escort left to meet with the insurgents while I ordered to await their return. Evane. One of the distant young offspring. Yes, that is as much as I know about him, which means he has distinguished himself in a meaningful way. The Lord himself is spearheading the riot? Yes, she bites her lip. No one expected this. Master Castilla is a nobleman from a respected governor's house and a vassal of House Winterscale. All of a sudden he proclaimed that Ricadi Filia is now his personal domain, and the prisoners were subject, and that he would never bow to anyone again. It's pure heresy. And I take it that they're looking forward to a diet of sand and gravel. What kind of madman would start a revolt on a barren rock? Why would young Winterscale have fed the need to parley with such dissidents? It's a personal matter. Master Castelia, the Sidious Warden, is Lord Evelyn's childhood friend. When my lord heard the riot, the news saddened him greatly, and he rushed here without delay, in hopes of bringing his old friend to his senses, no doubt. The first one to scale in my memory prefers to talk rather than shoot and slash. You're quite right. Young Lord Winterscale is not his father's shadow. If he's determined to save his friend, he will try to do so, no matter what obstacles get in his way. I'm looking for a man in the name of Henrik von Korlax. Is he here, perhaps? Unless it's one of the prisoners or guards, then it seems unlikely. There are no shuttles in working order other than yours and mine. There's nothing anyone else here could have reached the pace. Is there anything else I should be apprised of before I set out? Some of the rebels have holed up in the barracks. I don't know how many, but given that this is the only way through to where the negotiations are taking place, I would expect heavy resistance. Please take caution, your lordship. Lord Winterscale's guards mined the entrance so that the rebels couldn't get to the shuttle. I have no more questions. You may excuse yourself, Pilot. Your lordship, if I may have a minute of your time, I wouldn't have ever dared to trouble you with a personal matter, but the situation, in any case, have you been to the capital of Rickard Minors yet? I wanted to ask if you saw a man there, a communications offered by the name of Jaspar. Remain disdainfully silent. The woman looks at you after a while longer, eyes laden with hope, and then sighs. I don't dare lay you any further. Good luck for you, your lordship. I will contact Lord Evelyn's party over Vox and inform that you're coming. Yeah,
We should deal with this.
indeed.
Never doubt me.
Yep, got it. Why not? Let's open this door. Alright. Alright. Alright, to the barracks. Da-la-la-la. Accent needs to be more British. Okay.
This ocular
More
implant
British,
is
you
a
say.
worthwhile-
Abelard, I've been meaning to ask. How are you keeping it together so well? Don't you ever feel awful without her?
Enough, Tluss. We have a duty to the new rogue trader. You would do well to focus on that. If you keep your mind busy, you will have less opportunity to fill it with awful things.
God, so many words. Let's collect that. British, huh? Oh, you cut? You want to have a go at my gash?
Hey, what's that?
Like that?
The burden of failure is the
Ow.
most terrible punishment.
I won't tolerate weakness.
You what, mate? British? I don't like Curita.
Victory
I don't
awaits.
like a Steiner. I don't like Capellans. I don't like Free Worlds League. I don't like Clanners. I hate them. It ain't racist. I just don't like them. I
None
like me
shall stand
autocannons.
in my way.
I like Lord Davian.
I won't heed your cries of mercy.
Oh, cease and repent!
Thief and we went. Alright, you there. Okay, you. Let's move you here. You. Oh, no. You. There.
I will bathe this battlefield in
Oh.
righteous fury.
Say with your run and gun. How about you just fucking DACA them? DACA, 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 DACA.
As the Emperor
I guess I
commands,
should have done that
act.
first. Oh well. Alright, you.
I'm not so sure. Will do. Keep going.
Worth it.
On it.
Sorry, Argenta. Alright, let's slap
of
the
course.
Grenadier with some enemy analysis. Some exploits. Don't throw grenades at me.
Abelard.
Love my first prince. Love my federated son. Simple as.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
I ain't racist. I just don't like 'em.
I will do my duty.
North Avalon FC is my fucking jam. Exactly, you get it. Alright, bring him down, Aberward.
At your beck and call. It will be done.
Alright, hit endure.
High momentum.
I am fear incarnate.
We're just gonna keep spamming this.
Victory is imminent. I will do my duty.
There we go.
Indeed.
Come on. There you go. There you go, Governor.
Opposing me was
Bang.
your biggest mistake. Already done.
Epilob's my go-to man. Argenta. Let's move you here. And
Doubt
just
is for the weak.
fucking spray him with Prayum.
I'll do it.
Gotta reload. Alright.
That is not the Emperor's will.
I
What
know what
is the
power.
Emperor's will? Alright, well,
Anything else?
zop them, please. Teehee. Yeah, Hydra. Give some forewarning. There you go. Mr. Grenadier God, what are you gonna... That did some pretty fucking rude stuff.
My place is at the fore.
Hup.
It
I'll
will
hit
be
endure. I just
done.
charge
At your
here.
beck and call.
Oh, I can. Okay, great. Oh, wait, shit. Oh, well.
Let's see how they respond to this. Absolutely not. I don't have time for this.
Argenta, you get that. Yeah, oh well. Alright, how about you move here,
Rejoice in
Argenta,
battle.
and rejoice in battle.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Yeah, bad
do
stuff happens in the warp. Yeah. I honestly, I hear it's pretty faithful to Rogue Trader's stuff. So, but I honestly
They
can't give it.
discern the future on the battlefield. That is not my destiny.
All right, well, don't do it.
High momentum.
That's not the Seneschal's job.
Charge!
Once you attack
Ah,
it,
yeah. Slashy slash. Look at all this fucking loot now. Hell yeah, brother. There we go. Let's inspect that poster.
That wasn't so difficult.
Ooh. Oh yeah, tear that off the wall. Yank! Oh, hell yeah. An improved auto pistol. Who could use the auto pistol? I think that one's a little bit better for him at the moment. Yeah, that. Ooh, chainmail. There you go. Let's give you the chainmail since you only have that body armor on. 25, 25. Can you use that? 20. Do I lose the dodge penalty? Yeah. Yeah, he's not. That's not very useful to him, is it? More useful to him. Mesh chest plate. Okay, it's good for now. Oh wait, I give someone the grenade. How about the boss man? He could use a grenade, right? Hey, Thunderclap Sasquatch, how you doing? Info. Lots of words. Lots of words. Info? Yeah, go ahead. Add it to cargo. Add to cargo.
Follow my lead.
Alright, let's check here. Okay. Nothing I see, so we can now...
Idira, is there something you wish to tell me about? Namely, the mess in the wardroom last week.
Ugh, stop blaming me every time one of the officers flies off the handle, old man. Not every brawl or disaster on this ship is because of me.
It's true. Sometimes it's because of other people. Add the cargo. Lorp
Excellent
War.
smatters.
Anything in here?
It's about time.
Ooh, another door. Let's open up this door.
I rise to the occasion.
All right. Shazbot, my brethren, the dawn of night. The debates will guide us to the new existence. Yes, yes, dear brethren. Have a taste of my steel. Steel yourself. Oh, how I've longed for this, my dear brethren. Thank the throne, normal-looking faces. We thought we were going to die here with those nutters. Please don't shoot us, your nobleness. Let us speak a word. Well, this is welcome change. Talking before shooting. Still, Lord Captain. The look of this ragtag bunch hardly inspires trust. I came across a void ship in the system belonging to your Thosius. They told me some interesting things about you and your planned escape. Well, now, out of the bag. Our fellows are supposed to come along and get us time ago, but they got tied us up somewhere. Avoid Kraken's gullet with them. And all this time we had said, wait, this happened. Pardon me for trying to pull the sense wool over you. It's just that we want nothing to do with this whole war nonsense. So what now? Will you let us go? Sure, no problem. Today we'll tell us your little lie. Tomorrow you stick a torpedo in our side of that ship of yours. And if it doesn't fall apart the moment our helmsman sneezes in the general direction. Give me a reason not to execute you on the spot. Here's the deal. We're honest quiet, mates. We didn't want riot, but well, it was sitting here. It really wasn't another option either. The warden's lapdogs made short work of those who refused to join the festivities. So we had to, you know. Play along, but that's all it was, play. We never meant no offence to the Governor Mendenith, nor the lawful authority of the House Winterscale. Give us a chance, eh? We just want to wait and have everything blow over and we go back to our cells all quiet and rest all for time, eh? A repentant, honest heretic. How novel. Tell me more about the Warden and the Wyatt. Puh, Why, so your tongue talking about that heretic. But if you insist, here's how it is. The warden of this prison, the Honourable Master Castigella, was a crackpot from the start. The previous warden ran the proper way. Prayer, 1 meal a day, work, a punch in the chompers from the guard, work again, but a new one. Do you know what the first decree was? He introduced lunches and dinners. By the 9 devils, that's 3 meals a day. The man was obviously stark raving mad. Thing only went downhill from there. The guards quit it with the teeth punching. The warden forbade them. Instead, the overseers started counting which the prisoners were digging up more things in the quarry or swinging the pickaxes harder or whatnot. And then, would you believe it, they put together a list of best workers. And if someone on that list else showed good behavior, that's when they'd get promoted to an optimate. That's the upper crust among us jailbirds. Or that's how it was at first. Then the warden decided that the optimates, not the guards, who should be in charge of the punishments, and that it wasn't the overseer's job to watch prisoners work. It was the optimates. Well, let me tell you, that's when these goody two-shoes really started to shine. The guards aren't even the same league as our dear fellows. The optimates in the old days, we had 5 or maybe 10 sticks kicking it a week. And now, well, we're lucky to see if it wasn't only 50. And that wasn't even the end of it. Warden Costelia moved in with his chambers to live right in the quarry under the dome. And I think something in his new home really scrambled his brain. He began spouting the wildest things like the Optimates are saint, who will behold the truth. And he started talking to them to the quarry. Not all of them returned. The ones who did, you wouldn't recognize them. More base than man. They were butchered people right and left, even the guards, and the overseers, the ones themselves, armed them. And that's when the whole sob story. But I knew it from the moment he let us have our dinners. Oh, this one, and well. The old codge is right. Whenever the nobles start giving out handouts, the commoners, something always goes wrong. I mean, with all due respect, your lordship, no offence intended. If I spare your wife, what do I gain from it? Now, how can low jailbirds hope to thank your noble self? Oh, I have an inkling. You see, us here, we're, how shall I put this, different from the rest of the prisoners in this place. They're all petty thieves, some record minors, debtors and gutter snipes. They're no serious. Now we, your nobleness, are cut out from a different cloth altogether. We are fortune seekers from the void. Why don't we tell you we're the Footfall Station? You know, Footfall, the only other shipyard and the best market in all the Coronis expanse. So yeah, we're on Footfall and you can take some very serious business-minded people. And how can you get yourself a very special discount from one of them same very special goods? Ooh, what kind of very serious people? The most serious kind, your nobleness. Have you heard about the Fellowship of the Void? It's the largest pilot alliance in the expanse. There is no leader, of course, but there are some terribly serious captains who decided that cutting each other's throat over loot was, what we call it, counterproductive. But cutting throats together, now that's anti-counterproductive. And while you join the efforts, leave them with the excess of the spoils, so they need to dispose of it somehow. And I, your nobleness, just from knowing somehow, kind of such a dealing on behalf of those very serious people. Very well, I shall spare you. Oh, that's great to hear, your nobleness. Just great. Now there's a truth aristocrat. Not that ward creep. Now then, your nobleness, where was I? If you ever are on Footfall Station, there's a district there, the Shadow Quarters. It's called that because it's located behind the statue of our holiest emperor. I've known folks who call it something else. Also, on account of it being behind the statue, don't repeat their mistakes, I tell you. Reverend Harmonious wasted no time finding and burning them all. Forgiving old man is getting distracted. So, Footfall, the Shadow Quarters. There's a bar there, built into the remains of the old ship, and in that bar in the back room, a certain Rizza does a business. Tell her Grandpa Backfall says hello. You'll be her favourite client in the blink of an eye. There we are. Well, your nobleness, we'll be going now if you don't mind. Dogmatic. I've changed my mind. By his name, I will not let heretical riffraff such as yourself leave this place alive. This character is very dogmatic. You shall be executed. It had to happen.
Prevails.
Goods and services. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, range is a lot lower though. Well, he's the only one who has endure, so it's really... Alright, well, I guess we hold on to that. Let me think. Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt to put it in the other way, I guess. Ooh, serrated knife. Oh, that's a knife. Cultivating some,
Victory awaits!
I mean, that's an idea. Ha! Opens the door.
None shall stand in my way.
Lord von Valentius, my greetings. May the light of the eternal terror shine forevermore. Evan Winterscale, young son of Kellius Winterscale, at your service. Greet him with decorum. Yes. Decorum. As am I. Please accept my apologies for the slight breach of etiquette. Here and now is neither the place nor the time for a protracted ceremony. Let us discuss the matter of hand. You are here to end the riot, are you not? Indeed, it's a personal matter, if you will. Not simply because the incident occurred in the system that belongs to my father, the prison warden, and he used to be a close friend of mine once. I want to give him a chance to come to his senses, lay down his weapons, and stop his senseless uprising. The desire to help a friend is a noble one. My father would disagree. Thankfully, he is not here. Where is the warden now? Alright, I'll cultivate some other stuff. He's up ahead somewhere, and further below, we exchanged a few words over the Vox, and he said that he would meet us in the quarry behind the prison building. A strange choice for negotiations, but that's where his conditions. You came here with naught but a single shot with the guard. Do you not think that foolhardy? So did you. I had my doubts, of course, but I'm not Governor Mendez. I refused to sit idly in the safety of a bunker. I wanted to do something, and I thought arriving with a light escort would show Anathagon the sincerity of my intentions. I had arrived at the head of the whole unit, but I would not fault for assuming this was an assault. Can I dissuade you from escape? You cannot. Okay. Your lordship. Please, I kindly ask you not to waste my breath. My decision is final. Very well, in that case I shall accompany you. I must admit I do appreciate your company. The prison has given me a strong sense of unease, but the lift cannot support both our parties. If you're going to go ahead, wait for us at the quarry. We'll follow you shortly. Okay, okay. Well, I do like profit, so there is that.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Let's go here.
I did fine.
Medicare.
Excellence matters.
Killed by poison gas. Nice. Okay, okay. Wait. I know it. Okay, there they are. Fire. Keep that. Let's give you Granada. Okay. That should be good.
A new challenge for me?
Aha! Who are you? I was expecting my friend Evane, not an intrusion. Then your wait is over, and however, I do not come alone. I am accompanied by the Honorable Lord von Valencius. I should have guessed would be you. What do you want, enemy of Aurora? How do you know who I am? Lies have many faces, but there's only one truth, and it has been laid bare before me. I knew the enemy of the truth would come here sooner or later. And this isn't you. I do not know how it has come to this, but please let me... Quiet, Evie. I promise I will talk to you later, when we are alone. I cannot say I'm eager to spend time alone with you, not after everything I've witnessed on Racadia Filia, and what I'm witnessing right now. You know, we had this one guy once. He was a quiet one. One day he walked into a middle deck bar, threw one back, and then pulled out a gun and started shooting people left and right without saying a word. Then he shoved the barrel in his mouth and blew his brains out. Our warden here has the exact same look in his eyes right now. Why did you mutilate these people? These are my optimates, saints who will guide the flock at the fated hour. Listen. Can you hear it? You can't. These are crying out, calling. It's just that the cries are not meant for our ears. They cast their voices out. There, beyond the edge of the glass, into the transparent quiet. There, they are here. Heard. Their call is answered. Who is Aurora? Oh. You've managed to barge in here and interfere with the prophetess's design without even knowing who she is, but it's too late now. You will never attain sight. All you can do is accept your fate. I do not like it when my people take the prophet's Aurora's name in vain. I desire your death, enemy of the truth. Wait! The time for our words has passed. Optimates, give your powers to this harbinger of Aurora. Let our foe see the truth or become awash in blood.
And you'll die quickly!
I will level you!
Well, let us level our guys up first, real quick. Can I can't do that, can I? Not yet. Okay, well. Okay, let's move you there. Where else can I move you? Here. You. So, Idra, let's move you. No, Idra. There we go. Like that. Start the battle. Nice. Okay, first we're gonna hit with a run and gun.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
This thing. And then just Daka. Nice. More
I'll do
Daka.
Can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Haha! Alright.
Was that you? Or
There we go.
will do.
Abelard.
But of course.
Oh no, a traitor guardsman. Hey, hey, whoa, whoa. Rude.
Follow my lead. I will do my duty. Indeed.
Parry. Parry this.
Victory is imminent. My tactics are flawless. I'll pass. Absolutely not.
Too far away. What? Alright.
Not a
You
problem
serve
for
me.
Suits my purposes.
We'll buff the shit out of him then.
Not my specialty.
Okay, well, call that good. Digiman 619, the anti-digs. Hello, people.
I've suffered worse.
Hey, whoa, whoa. Would you not shoot me? Ow, rude.
Doubt is for the weak. This is unacceptable. Faith without deeds is worthless. Guided by faith.
There you go. Move there.
We can do worse, but not by much.
Would you not shoot your friends?
Eradicated.
There we go.
I'll do it.
There you go. Now reload.
Power resides
Sure.
in the will of the righteous. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
There we go. Why not? Come on. Don't miss.
Strike
Ah!
is a prayer.
Excellent.
What is this foreboding?
Well, you know.
Anything else?
Scream at him.
An unfortunate turn of fate. On it.
A weaken Abelard. There we go. And give him some more warning thingies.
Was that you? Or
There you go.
That's
Dodge
all I
this.
can call.
Haha, you can't.
Someone else can do this.
Bang.
Never wavered in the face of adversity.
Watch this. Haha.
Too easy.
Get him, Abelard. Abelard, could you
I'd rather not. It will be done.
not make me look like a dumbass? I'd appreciate it. Ow. Oh, ow. I find that incredibly rude, sir.
I will not.
I'll just take the attack, I guess.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Flammenwerfer. I wear flammens. well, let us move you down here. Idra.
Anything else?
The G-Man, no worries, that happens. We have a Tex and a not Tex. It's pretty normal for people to get all with, especially when you start getting a lot of people.
On it.
All right, start gangbanging this guy. Yeah. No worries, Night Owl. We have much appreciation for everything you do for us. All right, move up. Charge! Oh, gosh. You know what? Parry this. Ha, you can't.
High momentum.
I think it said by men. You know, by menin.
I'll pass. I'll bring
Fine.
glory to my
Abelard again.
bloodline.
Just start tanking him. Just fucking parry this, you casual.
It will be done. An exemplary strike. Grey hair, sure hand.
Nice. All right, great.
Nothing I can't do.
Bang. Shot him in the dick. Okay. How about Argenta? You again. There you go. Daka! Nice. Excellent. Good hits. What are you gonna do, Warden? Oh, you're gonna fucking shoot your little pew-pews at me. Ha!
Faith without deeds is worthless.
And deeds
As
without
the
faith
Emperor
is faithy.
I refuse. This is why I was chosen.
Was it why you were chosen? I see, I see. How about you
Anything else?
shout? Dragon shout! What in the great TARDIS?
Was that you? Or... Will do.
Do I have to break one of these stupid unholy lenses?
A tactically sound approach. I'm not interested. At your beck and call. Already done.
Pew! Alright, Argenta can put
Doubt is
Sadaka
for the
down.
weak.
Haha! Ooh. Mr. Rude Man. All of them. You know, what's funny is when I first played this, I didn't use grenades. I broke one. Yeah, that'll help, right? Nope. Will this work? It did something. There you go. Exploit his ass.
But of course.
There we go. Pew.
It will be done. Someone else can do this. An exemplary
Ah.
strike. At your beck and call. Suits my purpose.
Yeah, I only had to destroy one last time I played, so I don't know.
I will do my target well struck. I don't have time for this.
Good draw. I give you the point hand thing. Parry this, you casual.
I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands,
you could just-
I act.
How hard is it to hit that thing? It's just right there.
Anything else? What an unfortunate turn of fate.
That hurt you. Yeah, there you go. Everything here must be purged with fire, and what have you done? May I invite you aboard my ship, Evane? I'd like to continue our acquaintance. I thank you for the invitation. I gladly accept it. I'll revive my shuttle in a little while. If you'll excuse me, I'd like to be alone for a time being. Yeah. Yeah, see? Just a stub. Nice. A laser rifle.
Follow my lead.
Goes to show you just copious amounts of DACA will get the job done.
I won't tolerate weakness.
I won't tolerate weakness. Let's commanding voice to 6 will be nice. Let's up his ballistic skill. Endure, sworn enemy. Reckless strike looks good. And what does he have? Carouse. Alright, let's get your warp powers, psychic barrage. Whenever the psychic uses damage psychic power on target that has 6 cells or for the that's not bad. Yeah, psychic barrage looks good. Intelligence, perception, willpower. Let's bump that willpower up. Definitely ballistic skill. Entrench. Okay, concentrated fire. We'll have. Let's try rapid fire. There we go. There we go. Hey, don't worry about psychers. They're friends for the full family, right? Until our next meeting. Okay. Ah, yes. What's the matter, Lord Captain? Why are you so interested in... By the Imperium Saints, it cannot be! I see it too. Whenever that thing is in our study it was made from the same material as this junk. What? What? It's a mistake. Slander meant to blemish the good name of a person who is now dead and cannot even defend herself. For those minions of the archenemy murderer, Lord Captain Theodora, and now this cannot be tolerated. It will not be tolerated. Come on now, Abelard. Remember what she was like? Brazen, assertive. It was like her entire life was a race against the fate until fate caught up with her in the end. She'd have gone head first into the black hole if she had thought it would put her even in one step ahead of everyone else in the expanse. If we could just find out what she was keeping in her desk, and why she was scared during the attack. How bitter it is that you were born from bad blood. Do not let this knowledge drag you into darkness. Alright. Life must be so easy for sanctimonious preachers. A dubious trinket, then you will no longer see a person, you see bad blood, an annoying hindrance. How dare you admonish me? Are we speaking of abetting the archenemy, a person who has tainted themselves, thus can never justify their actions? People. Sure, why go through all the trouble of trying to make sense of anything when you can just label them a heretic and call it a day? Except, dear friend, I seem to remember that you didn't mind Theodora so much while you were aboard the ship. You didn't leave her side even for a moment. She rescued you, aided you, and your adoration wilted the moment you heard an accusation sullying her memory. You weren't surprised or upset. You just gave up on her and moved on. Sister Argenta, you will cease these insinuations about Theodora at once. I will not have the name of the von Valentius family to be defamed by such words. The deeds of the rogue trader's predecessor speaks more loudly than any words I could utter.
None shall stand in my way.
None shall pass. Don't worry about it.
Victory awaits.
Alright, so I think... Now we talk to Raquel. Lord Waltz is alive? Is he alright? He's safe and in one piece. I shall receive him as a guest, so ready the shuttle. Yep.
It's about time.
And back to the void ship. Huzzah! Psychers are replaceable, and sometimes that place is outside of an airlock. Permission to report, Lord Captain. Over the past few days, I received several messages from different decks complaining about anomalous behaviors in the ship's cogators and servitors. The machine spirits are restless and rebellious, and no technic litany or ritual of pacification can rid them of this obstinance. The tech priests can deal with the vessel's systems, but the servitors, they make errors in the task, disobeying orders, changing the assignment rituals, or sometimes downright freezing as if in a trance. Lord Captain, the occurrences such as these are caused by errors in Cogator's calculations or have some other sensible explanation. I beseech you not to take after those who whisper about the ship being cursed or possessed. Oh, don't start, old man. All these peculiar happenings have long since turned into local legends. A dorm slide shut, a lumen starts flickering. Folk have grown used to all that. So our resident ghost has decided to take up the ante, I tell you. Things are only going to get worse from here. The technomats inspect the servitors and conclude they pose no danger. According to the servants of the Omniasiah, such behavior is either caused by the echoes of the minds not completely eliminated or by manifestations of the machine spirit's will. Nevertheless, the faulty servitors make the crew's task considerably more difficult. In high factum, Janice Janrock would like to discuss you how to deal with the defective property. He's awaiting your audience on the bridge. Yeah, okay. Inventory. No, maybe I will give myself a las gun. Ooh. That's an upgrade. Precisely as pistol. Maybe give him the last pistol. See how he does with that for a while. Back to the bridge. To the bridge with them. So I guess we'll go talk to them about some cogators. Giannis, have you heard of the name the Fire Reckoning? From what I can tell, is a void ship of some sort. I'm afraid I do not immediately familiar to me. Your lordship, please allow me a moment. I say. House Von Valensis did indeed sign a contract with the owners of the vessel with the designation Fiery Reckoning. These are transactions, records of the ships picking up cargo from Kiva Gamma. Well, this is odd. The data log ends there. Apparently the ship had some interaction with one of the workshops on your industrial world. I beg your pardon, your lordship, but this is the extent of the assistance I can provide in regards to you in this particular matter. That'll do. I'd like to replace the painting of late Theodore on my entertainment with my portrait instead. Excellent. I would like you to order some shipping and transport some goods. Oh. Show tradable. Yeah, go trade that. Okay. What about get rid of those? Add to cargo. Add to cargo, everyone. Just for having a little fun. Add to cargo. Add to cargo. Add to cargo. Add to cargo. Add those to cargo. Add that to cargo. Prisoner shank. Ooh, damn. Poison shank. No, prisoner, yeah. Okay, well. Alright, that's good. Oh, let's talk to Giannis again. What happened to the servitors? You see, your lordship, the ship servitors have been malfunctioning of late. They violate protocols, interrupt tasks, observe crew members for long periods of time, and move erratically with no mean or purpose. Had it been a routine technical fault, I would have decided the fate of these servitors myself, but I deemed it necessary to notify you. I do not wish to hide such irregularities from the Lord Captain. If you wish to observe the servitors' unusual behavior before you decide their fate, this can be arranged. The majority of the defective units have been delivered to one of the storage compartments pending your decision. Alright, I wish to take a look at these servitors before deciding their fate. Yep. When his lordship arrived at the scene, he found the servitors in the same position that they assumed after they had been corralled into the bay, all standing in a long spiraling line and facing the center of their strange formation. The moment his lordship crossed the threshold of the bay gate, their bodies jerked into motion, all as one. As if obeying a command, the servitors turned to face the Lord Captain. The technomats tasked with overseeing the defective units even reached for their weapons, and then the servitors went still, just as abruptly, staring at his lordship with vacant eyes. All present held their breath, disturbed by the sight. We wait for Lord Captain to speak. Take several steps toward the servitors. Immediately, the servitors, each and every one of them, stepped toward the Lord Captain in perfect unison. They mimicked his movements with frightening precision. The rogue trader halted in place. After a moment's thought, waved his hand, and the servitors, just as synchronously, repeated the gesture as well. When the Lord Captain turned quizzically to the technomats, so did the servitors, as if mocking him. However, the Lord Captain did Whatever the Lord Captain did, be it to incline his head, a wave of the hand, one step to the side, the defective units repeated without a moment's delay or hesitation. Like grotesque marionettes controlled by an unseen puppeteer, we observed this mime unfold in distressing bafflement for nearly a minute until the servitors finally came to a stop. Not sensing any threat to them, the rogue trader approached with confidence. The Lord Captain examined the servitors. As High Victorum, it was I who had prompted the entire inspection, and thus it was my duty to follow the Lord Captain as we stepped closer. We noticed a facilitatingly irregularity. The servitors' pupils, normally still, were shaking wildly. Their bulging veins were pulsating under their copper collars inscribed with their past defenses. It was as if those mindless half-machines were locked in perpetual state of extreme tension. Visibly shaken technomats behind us proposed that the human souls had awakened, and the servitors' bodies, after a long slumber deep within their lobotomized brains. Formerly bereft of intelligence, they had attained awareness, feeling, and understanding. After a pause, the technomat added that the servitors used to function properly, and that no one had been able to explain the change in their behavior. His gaze still trained on the motionless but animate half-machines and half-people. Lord Captain Heretical suddenly drew an iridescent blade, one I had seen before, and if followed some unheard command, plunged it into the nearest servant. I am not going... No heretical. I don't need some iridescent blade. But what if? Uh... Yeah. Yeah, see the temptation? There's temptation here. No heretical? Okay, I agree. Step away from the servitors. Demand a report on the defective Venus status from the technomats. The technomat's long-winded and detailed report could have been summarized in a single key point. Despite the servitors' abnormal behavior, they were still quite capable of carrying out the task, and therefore the circumstances did not call for their termination. Order one of the servitors to be disassembled and its components investigated. A group of technomats hurried to act upon the Lord Captain's command. The servitor's mechanical parts separated with clicks, snaps, and hisses. The sutures between its wrinkled pale flesh and augments were laid disgustingly bare. We watched the technomats do their work and could see every centimeter of the servitor's stiff muscles abounding with valves and cavities, piercing by countless cords and tubes. The disassembly and analysis complete, the technomats concurred that the unit was in working order. Nothing in the dissected body that lay before us could prove any insight into the reason behind the defects. Should I make note of more of these things at the moment, of all the present discovered, not just the eyes, but the hands and the heads, and some of the servants were now shaking too. It was as if the mechanical servants were overcome with some primordial terror. Turn to make my announcement. Well, do Iconoclast then. We'll release their souls. The Lord's Captain command was executed post-haste. All the defective units were incinerated in furnaces, and their remains were expelled into the void. The crew was provided with replacement servitors and soon forgot all about the destroyed unit's peculiarities. Yet this incident haunts the memories to this day. With the fate of the defective servitors decided, nothing could now distract the Lord Captain from his mission. There we go. Wonder Bar. Alright. Let's look at the Cronus Expanse. I guess the next logical step would be go to Uruk 5. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Wisterian's voice. In any case, I want to warn you in advance. kind of crap is this? This is not the conduct of an officer. These are antics of a high-born brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence towards a high-rank officer will be logged in your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avril Vent requesting permission to speak on the matter of extreme importance and urgency. I will not tolerate this kind of conduct on my ship. Abelard, assign the lieutenant an appropriate punishment. Lieutenant, you have 1 minute to state your business. There was no option to make the cyborgs willingly. Like, I could put them back to work and basically forget about it, but there was no option to, like, turn it into an army. Yeah, so I'm thinking too. You may speak, but I want to hear the report, not a shouting match time. 2 officers picking full view of my bridge is unacceptable. I'm so sorry, Lord Captain. I thought of drastic times for drastic measures. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched lower decks in order to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary, but I am convinced that this step is unwarranted and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Huff. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the sanctions of Seneschal Warshaw and interfere in what's happening on lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. And where does Seneschal Warshaw come into all this? I shall explain. I beg you to hurry, time is running out. I will not hurry, since my competence is under scrutiny. I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way of things are done on the ship, and one of the pillars of the system is that the rogue jailer's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself, so, of course, when I received information about cultists hiding in the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valensis will find refuge on our ship. You are far too heavy-handed. Seneschal Warshaw arrests, interrogates, and mass punishments for entire sectors. It has driven the people to do the brink. Now there's a strike on lower decks in Depot 4. To be precise, 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could generate into an all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors of the lower decks. It is home to clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable on the ship as families who have served to specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one of which now, more besides, given succor to cultists and minions of the arch-enemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst that means drunken fights and illegal rot gut brewing. We've handled the workers in Depot 4 in the past. We should have done it so again. If the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh, and another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to the sector. It is located to one of the most popular it is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that has happened there has a knock-on effect in the neighboring sectors. There's an insurrection in the making of my ship and no one has informed me? I will not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. Lower decks, as it so happens, are in revolt. 30-some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we are still battling rumors of that hero that survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight against the tyranny once more. Needless to say, the rumors are baseless, as if the current situation we have sufficient forces to deal with it. Grubfist, welcome. Yeah. But on this ship, the word Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. I'm sure that if a rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he will quell the unrest. I dread to think that the problem would disturb a rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask Lord Captain to break up brawls in the mess room? I've already given you the means to resolve this problem. You simply need to use them. If I may, your lordship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it. How did this start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I give the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who had been killed in a drunken brawl. They reported up the chain immediately, arranged it for cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tension between the enforcers and the workers ahead. It's going roguey, the trading of rogues, so it's pretty good. Just spent 7 hours achieving 2 victories in Darktide and enjoying the moment of it. The new boss they added, which I think is time limited. Well, I'm glad you're having fun with Darktide. I see no need to add anything. I acted with the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of the Protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You will see that they are not lying or harboring heretics. That way you will stop the uprising before it begins. Huh. Well, I might as well go deal with it personally since you messaged me. Praise the Emperor. Thank you, Lord Captain. An Enterprise boarding on the sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Yeah, it's fine. We'll get to slap the pee-pee of some schlubs.
A new challenge for me?
Hey, it's Wasteland. Take that, scum. Look at it. It's all his fault. Ah, the throne duty. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Did you hear? They were shouting your name. Of course they were. The organization of the daily routine life of the ship rests upon my shoulders. The mountain of challenges and problems from which I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation on lower decks has been a cause of for concern, and I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. That must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them, you are akin to a creature of legend. One who has stood on the steps of the Golden Throne, no less, whereas I am a man whose name is attached to every order docking ration or lowering a bay's heating. The people dared to disrespect a senior officer. They would not have the chance to express such disrespect if we were not here, and if the situation had been dealt with by the relevant officers, it's a junior officer worse failing to pass problems up the chain of command. I have never been able to abide it. I shall say again, it was a mistake to come here, Lieutenant Vince Wim, Lord Captain. I must admit that the lieutenant is by no means the worst material for an officer, but in the name of Tara, the girl is the same age as my eldest great-granddaughter, and she has all the gall to tell me how to manage the lower decks and hunt down cultists. It will be another 20 years at least before she can be trusted to act without oversight. Well, let's keep moving and find the problem to this, shall we? Lower deck rabble.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Valves. Valve. Valve? Ooh. I have my orders to put an end to the inrush and purge this sector. You can take your orders and shove them. This is my deck and my sector. They are only 3 people who can waltz down here without my express permission. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Your lordship. We encouraged some locals on our way here. Their conduct was outrageous. They even tried to throw things at us. The people are getting desperate, clearly. They saw the assault unit and they decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, I apologize, Lord Captain. It is outrageous. I'm sure the people simply didn't recognize you. It wouldn't have occurred otherwise. We will deal with them once the current situation is resolved. Is that all you have to say? Are you sure you're worthy of an officer's rank, Lieutenant? Forgive me, Lord Captain. I will take steps to ensure that such a thing does not happen again. Let's speak with the strikers. Come on, lead the way.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Alright. Fucking unionizers. Who do they think they are? I love my emperor. Lord Captain, you've come down to us. We were attacked on our way here. How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out as if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here, like the one here that the lieutenant won't let past. Our clans are inside the bay that have been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people there who've had enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the one who've risen up. A death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Ooh, XP. Tell me, why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship. All we're asking, saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your demand to enforce all of us down here. They say they're looking for cultists, one wrong word and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to the whole bay for a week at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see sadness swell up in her eyes at the mention of children's deaths. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who the mother of the lower decks and who grew up at midship and has no fellow feelings toward us. Your lordship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We've all plotted no disorder, but we went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. The persecution started, apropos of nothing, you say? I was told that one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet. Are there no heretics hiding here? A cultist amulet? Yes, yes. Very British speak. A cultist amulet? What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there have been heretics here? We know our own people, and there have been no new faces around. Definitely not, and if there were, we'd be the first to report them. As for the amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off the dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine. I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah, those boots were fine. And there is no harm in talking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here, all we all worship the Emperor. And when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motors. The same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are a people of faith. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the archenemy's creations? Weren't you were warned that any unfamiliar objects could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. Last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I had my third little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of our holy forefathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The only holy father who is not there, or the scavenger who brought down evil on himself and his neighbors? What changes do you want? Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us, Bilgerats, what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in the damn enforcers, to quit turning off the heat and stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms, and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've got leaders of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. We've gone too far, old Nan. They'll never let us maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down our necks. They'll probably even list on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of the stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers start hassling us, there'll be enough. In return, we'll find scavengers who rob the cultists' bodies, and we'll talk to them. On lower decks as to another. If there is any more of those damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures, I want real change. They promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before. All because we dared speak out. Coercion. 40. Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we will consider the rest. Oh, Grubsis, thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, try to do voices for everyone. Rivet. Old man, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and has offered concessions. And I don't know a single person in the whole of Deeper 4 who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn crone. Listen to us, old Nan. The 3 clans of Deeper 4 ought to act as one. We've made up our minds. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you are against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders of my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. Oh, that's great. Just fantastic. Lord Captain, we're all agreed. Then it's decided. Persecution will stop, and I'll expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets, weapons left by the cultists. I guess we thought Sabla. The story going about scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling, and possibly even become minions of the arch enemy. We must not give them what they want, even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity. That does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver problem. I have seen it before. In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment that was stationed nearby. The sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic, and his whole unit lost their lives for it. When they finally managed to break into the barracks, they found not a single survivor, only the pocket knife, which had grown through all the rows of beds like a metal choking vine. So when it comes to scavenging malcontent strikers or whatever they'll turn into next, my verdict is simple: give them no quarter. Then it's decided. The persecution will stop and I'll expect you to... Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Oh, your lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us lower deckers. You came yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. Oh, of course, your lordship. We'll root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and we'll leave no stone unturned. Huzzah!
Victory awaits!
I am a little bit of a Monty Python fan, but also it is easier on my throat to make certain voices after I've been talking for a while. This game can get pretty long-winded.
None shall stand in my way.
None shall pass. Let's go this way. Let's look down here. What's over here?
A new challenge for me? Follow my lead.
The container can be seen. Perhaps the pipe will allow you to reach it. What do you mean examining the pipe?
I won't tolerate weakness.
Ooh, thanks for the tier 1 sub, gift sub. Uprising 2123 gets a tier 1 gift sub. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
It's about time.
Oh, open the door.
Victory awaits.
Perhaps examining the pipe.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperium.
We shall prevail.
What do you mean examining
A new
the pipe?
challenge for me. None shall stand in my
Game, what
way.
is with that clue? I have shit to do. No. God bless America. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble, you believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, the rabble will welcome them with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see the future at the helm of the Von Valensis Protectorate? Do not dare to speak to your Lord Captain in that tone. I am obliged to speak thus. Who else can point out the errors and offer you counsel? There is some truth to your criticism. I should say so. You simply need to trust me. I would have handled the situation myself if you had not decided to intervene. Remember Lord Captain Theodora? Do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers while she dedicated herself to the grand designs for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and the rogue trader ought. Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There is a new Lord Captain aboard the ship now, and I will not repeat her mistake. I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with the introduction of new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain, and I believe I ought to explain myself. The prosperity of the Von Valences Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw the Lord Captain Theodorus' deeds a true sign of greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of the anarchy. They create impulse. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left it behind, everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon the incredible reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods, to distant frontiers on scouting voyages, and the advancements of the entire protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismic active world. Oh my Christ on a crutch almighty. We just keep talking. Talk, talk, talk. It's all you're doing. One of the senior officers betrayed us. Trade us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planet. I tell you all this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come to a grievous blow to me. I am not panicked or grievous because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible, and to do that I must insulate you from the problems of the past that have been dealt with and tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly and be deemed excessive to requirements. Yes, oh gosh. Theodora trusted in established procedures, and she died. I won't make the same mistake. If you want to keep building the future of the Von Valences Protectorate with me, stop living in the past. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and Rogue Trader. Accept it and start living in a new world, a world where Theodora is gone and where you and I have new decisions to make. I like that. That sounds good. Yes, your Lord Captain. Your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. And now please, let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader decides to stretch his leg, there are far more suitable places. Don't make me leave. There's a fucking hint here, and it pisses me off. The container can be seen beyond the massive bars. Examining the pipe will allow you to see it.
I won't tolerate
What
weakness.
pipe? Mein Gott, what pipe? Where? Oh.
It's about time.
Can I not interact with it? I feel like there's a puzzle here that I'm missing.
Victory awaits.
You know?
A new challenge for me?
Alright, let's go in here. Oop, here's another one.
Follow
Okay.
my lead.
Here we go. No.
None shall stand in my way.
Alright, well I guess, maybe over here? Nope. Down here?
It's about time.
Alright, I don't know. Um, weapon skill for sure. Sure, chain weapon. That's good. Get back in the fight. That actually sounds pretty good. A lot of times people get fire and shit. Da, 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 da. Hmm. No heresy. Stronger to. If certain kill a target, the noble dealt damage to. You go on. You go on sounds good. Although. Hmm. Power weapon. Las weapon expert, maybe? Hmm. You go on work. The movement bonus will help.
Victory awaits!
Alright, back to the bridge. Alright, and on this note, I think we're gonna stop the game here. We played some Rogue Tech tonight, and then some Rogue Trader. I had a lot of fun. I hope everyone else had lots of fun. I am very parched, so I'm going to go drink a bunch of water. We will pick this up next week with more Rogue Trader and our Wide Expanse Tom playthrough. Yeah. Be sure to stop by next week and enjoy the funness. If you missed it, it will be in the VODs. Have a great and wonderful late night, people.